What is Cafe Mocha? Cafe Mocha is experts, celebrities.
What's up? This is Belle Biv DeVoe.
Yours truly, Idris Elba.
This is Fantasia.
This is In Vogue.
This is India Ari.
So much more. All from a woman's perspective.
What flavor are you, baby?
This is Cafe Mocha.
Cafe Mocha with Emmy Award-winning talk show host Lonnie Love, West Coast rap diva Yo-Yo. I'm Angelique, the producer and journalist. We're talking to sports journalist and actress Jayne Kennedy about overcoming scandal. Black History Month wrapping up. And I know, Lonnie, you always come up with these great, empowering stories about our people. But before you get there, I have started a business, so I actually have something to talk about, guys. Oh, okay. And it's Black History. It's like, finally, I ain't getting paid, so calm down. It's called Knock Digital, N-O-C Digital. And basically, we take a bunch of stories from history that you should have learned, but never did. And I'm not even talking about stuff that you can kind of look up. These are things that have been buried deep in the history books, or just stuff you didn't know. Like for the Super Bowl, we threw up, there's a former NFL player who played for Dallas and the Lions, and he is now an astronaut. Nobody knows this guy, Leland Melvin. I mean, we have bunches and bunches of stuff, so go ahead and look us up.
Yeah,
Not
she
digital.
sent it to me, and I was like, oh, yeah, let me look at it. I knew Leland. He took the pictures with the dogs. His official,
Yes.
I know. Yeah.
Of
Black
course.
History hate to see me coming. Black
I
History
know.
Month, I'm like, I'm going to know all of it. But, yeah, I'm going to definitely post that. And, you know, I just love this month because especially with what we're going through, I think that it's important for us, you know, to recognize the contributions that so many people have made. As a matter of fact, Yo-Yo, you are Black history as well when it comes to hip hop, you know?
Contributions. Yo-Yo School of Hip Hop, the Intelligent Black Women's Coalition, working in the community, getting kids off to college, giving scholarships away, 18 to be exact, in each city up and down the state. And also Downright Delicious, where I'm whipping in that kitchen. Season 3 has premiered, and you can go to Aspire TV and check out the new episodes, new guests, new recipes, and of course your favorite hip-hop chef, your girl Yo-Yo. And so, yeah, I'm excited to do a new season, and we actually got some great ratings. Number 2 on the network, number 7.
Nice.
They're 13 years of existing. And so go see what all the hype is about. Aspire TV or Aspire TV Plus if you want to check out some old episodes. Or if you have Amazon Prime, you can also check out Amazon Prime.
Wow, you know, you are making so much history, and when you do watch it, the food is actually good. I'm like, wow, that looks delicious.
You did not say, see, when people say it's actually good, you're supposed to be complimenting it. It's like you expected it not to be good. Of course it's good. Yo-Yo did it.
Yes, I thought.
I have
Okay.
to invite Lonnie over, and I have to
Me
invite
too.
Lonnie over so that I can cook some of my favorite dishes for you. I don't know if you play dominoes or spades.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still not
That's
drinking.
part of Black history, too. Spades.
Stop drinking.
Who stops drinking?
Me.
Oh,
You
really?
did?
Yes. You
Why?
can't tell in my skin.
Why did you stop drinking, Yo-Yo?
She just tossed her hair back. You have on glasses, so I can't see your glowy skin.
I realized
Why did you stop drinking? You're not answering the question.
I was gaining weight with every drink.
Oh, yeah. It's empty calories. Unless you do vodka and soda.
I
That's like
tried.
no sugar.
I tried. It was like God was punishing me for every drink I was getting a pound.
Oh, really?
Yeah, seriously. And I was cutting back on food and doing a lot of walking. And so I just decided to just cut back. And now I found a Josh no alcoholic champagne.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Does it taste
Is
as
it good?
nasty as real
No, it's
champagne?
delicious.
Oh,
You should
my
try it. It's non-alcoholic. It's Josh. I mean, you don't get the buzz, but come on, champagne.
Oh,
Get you
well, there's no reason to
I
do
don't
it.
do champagne
Um,
anyway. I wanted vodka. Let's be clear.
You can do everything in moderation. Look, speaking of history, I am on tour with the historic Martin Lawrence. We are doing a second leg of our tour.
Yes.
It's been wonderful. I just want to say that he put out we were backstage, and he does his little warm up with his boxing, and he posted it, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, he lost so much weight, Yo-Yo. He's healthy." He's quick now, and he's just, he's back to that like old Martin stance. And it was funny. He was feeling so good that when he was on stage, he tried to like bend down, and that knee caught him. I said, "Yeah, you still 60, player. You still." He's like, "Yeah, I ain't gonna be doing that no more." But we are having so much fun. And what I love about him is that his family travels with him. He has a lot of brothers and sisters. Shout out to Ray Lawrence and to Ursula, to Ron. And they really surround him and, keep him, centered. His girlfriend, Angie. And it's just nice to be around people and see family supporting each other.
Now, can I give you a real things you didn't know?
What?
He did Ursula as Shanae.
Yeah, it was Ray. If you look at Ray is Shanae. That's his sister too. Ray, literally is Shanae.
Wow.
And also they have you're on the new show that Martin will have with Tommy Davidson.
Oh, what is that?
What is it called?
Yeah, the Vernon Hill Show. So it was a little segment that turned into a big segment that turned into a new show that's coming out. It's called the Vernon Hill Show, and I get a chance to come on there and perform some new music and be a part of the new Benny, who was the gentleman who was the showrunner for the Martin Show. So it was like being amongst family all over again.
It was nice. So it's going to be on BET or BET Plus, and it'll be coming out soon. So it's nice to see that he's still, producing. I think what a lot of people forget is that in the field of comedy, Martin was one of, and still is, top comics. I mean, when you look at, Pryor, then there's Eddie. In my view, then there's Martin Lawrence. He started on Def Jam. Then he got the Martin Lawrence Show. Then he had these whole string of movies.
Yes.
What a lot of people don't realize is that the Bad Boys franchise was actually Martin's movie.
We're talking Black history. This is Cafe Mocha.
Standing in solidarity from a woman's perspective. It's Cafe Mocha.
Cafe Mocha. We're always about our Black history, a.k.a. American history. Lonnie, go ahead and continue with your Black history lesson.
And Martin originally wanted to pick Eddie Murphy as the partner, but Eddie wasn't available.
Okay.
And so Ray, his sister, was the one that said, what, why don't you look at Will Smith? Because I think you and Will would really hit it off and have chemistry. And so they ended up, doing Bad Boys, and, it's been magic ever since. And even when Will got into the whole slap incidents at the Oscars, that was right before Bad Boys 4 was coming out. And a lot of people were kind of like, oh, man, Will Smith's career is over. And, we saw the headlines. But once Bad Boys 4 came out and became this global hit, it basically, took Will Smith back. And we realized, what happened, and that he's still this great movie star. So
right, Chris can take a slacking and keep on macking.
What?
Take it like a man. Take it like a man.
Oh,
Happy
God.
Black History Month. Read up on it, study it. Is your history. They're trying to erase our history.
Oh my gosh.
And so it's important for us, and that's why I try to use my platform. You can check out all my Instagram accounts, on all my socials. I try to post something about what's happening with our history. It's a very rich history, and there have been some, there was this conversation at the Grammys when the country artist Shabuzi, who won a Grammy for best duo or something like that, and he got up there and he said, what did he say, Angie?
Some ridiculousness. Talking about the immigrants. Talking about
he
the
was
immigrants.
trying to be, everybody.
Correct.
he was trying to be deep. You know, everybody want to make you want a Grammy, so it's like, let me make this deep statement. And he's like, the immigrants built this country, and it was like, wait,
is that what we are now? Immigrants? Child. Wow. Oh my goodness! When I saw that, I threw up.
Basically there was a lot of chatter about that, and and some people were trying to say, but the slaves were immigrants. It's like, no. There's a difference between being an immigrant and being a transatlantic slave.
Right.
It's a big difference.
Yes, it is.
Immigrants, you came here for a better life, voluntarily, on your own. Our ancestors were forced here. I could have been up under a tree somewhere in Nigeria eating berries. Mm-hmm. But no, I'm on the microphone with you two heifers.
Mm-hmm. But now it's overcrowded because it's a party there every weekend.
In Nigeria,
you get no peace now. They making it a party over there. Everybody from the
Nigeria is like, could y'all please go back? But this is another example of why you have to have Black history and Black history studies, because people don't, they get mixed up. What's an immigrant? Right. Who's an indentured servant?
And
who's a slave?
There were immigrants. There were people that I guess they were coming from China, and they helped build the railroads, but they came here voluntarily. They were treated horribly, but they were not slaves. We were slaves.
And it was built on the indigenous people's land.
Let us not forget that.
So, it's so much history that they don't study and that they don't teach.
Yeah. And then also the history, thanks to the current administration, is just being pulled out quietly, loudly, out of the museums, out of everywhere. And Shonda Rhimes and a whole bunch of other people have a variety of organizations that are working to save stuff. They're working, some of them are art curators, some of them are just any number of establishments and organizations and people that are trying to save Black history before, it gets destroyed.
And we won't let them take our joy. Yeah. So, teach it to your children, read, study. There's plenty of books out there. There's plenty of music. There's plenty of movies. There are a lot of Black history collections on all the streaming services. So, take some time to really, celebrate what our ancestors did. And our ancestors was not weak. I don't care what nobody say. They were strong.
Speaking of not being weak, I want to tell you, kids are trying to get into college. I am an ambassador for 14 years with the National College Resource Foundation. This past week, the middle of February, we gave over $20 million in scholarships. So if you are interested, need more information on how to get your kids some of that financial backing, make sure you go to Black College Expo, or you can go to their Instagram. It's National College Resource Foundation or Black College Expo on Instagram. Check out your girl Yo-Yo. I'm there doing seminars. We do 18 cities a year. And I also give out $1,000 scholarship in each city for those who have the passion of writing or entertainment or tech.
And she is the Harriet Tubman of
listen, girl, you
Black College.
Going you need $5 and I still can't go buy me a purse when I want to.
We love you, though. We thank you for it, yo. Happy Black History Month, ladies.
Happy Black History Month.
It's Cafe Mocha.
On the way, she showed little Black girls everywhere that we could be TV journalists, too. We're talking to Jayne Kennedy. It's Cafe Mocha with Lonnie Love, Yo-Yo. I'm the producer, Angelique, on the line, the most amazing woman in the world. We love her. From the sports world, Miss Kennedy, I don't want to make you feel old, but we all grew up watching you be the big time sports announcer / involved in sports TV. But Lonnie, go ahead. I know you want to.
I'm excited. Yeah, I've been waiting for this moment because she was beautiful, still is.
Oh yeah.
She's just just growing up for me as a young Black woman in the Brewster Projects, you were such an iconic role model for me. So thank you for this moment, Miss Jayne Kennedy. Oh, we got her, y'all. We got her.
I'm so excited. Hello, Miss Jayne. Welcome to Cafe Mocha. You were the first Black woman still holding her own on the national sports TV. I mean, when you look back, what stands out most about that time period?
Well, it was a short time period in my journey because, all of the acting that I had done, the films and all of the sponsorships that I had done and partnerships that I had done. So my career was very full. But the most important thing that resonated with all of the families throughout the country was my career in sports. And that began with the CBS NFL Today in 1978. Through 1980. And then I ended up doing 6 years of heading Greatest Sports Legends. And usually with Sports Legends, they would have someone in the sports realm, and they would host for one season, but I was the only one to host for 6 years. And they went on to do 30 years of shows. So it's just amazing that time in my life. It was something that I hadn't expected, then the opportunity came up and I said, hey, I can do this. My family was raised in sports. So I heard my dad in the back of my head, say, yeah, you can do this. Go, girl, go. Hit for the home run. Hit for the outfield.
Well, but the thing is that at that time, you were like the first to do it. Did you realize, did it hit you like, I'm the first Black woman to do this? Or was it just something because you were familiar with sports that it was, you were okay with it?
No, absolutely. I was familiar with it because, the reporters reminded me every day that I didn't belong there. So, because, it hadn't been done before. Phyllis and me, we were the only two women on the NFL Today to this day. Still to this day.
What?
You see women in sports in other areas, but not on the desk of the NFL Today.
Wow. You know what? Now I think about it, it was just you and, oh my goodness. Oh, well, is this the reason why you decided to, because your life is so full, to write your new book, which is being released, called Plain Jayne? Why now?
Well, it is a process that took 25 years. I started in 2000. And to me, it was important to tell my story in my own words. I've heard so many people telling, their version of what my story was. And I said, I need to reclaim my narrative. I need to tell this story in my own words. And, it took a long time to figure out what I was going to write. I would write like crazy for a year, and then, I'd back off for a year. And I wanted to be like my full story, not just about sports, not just about entertainment. I wanted it to be the full realm of who I was. So I also had to wait till my daughters grew up because I wanted to have them as an integral part of the stories. And I actually ended writing when my daughter graduated, my youngest graduated from college. So, that was the timeline that I was looking at. I didn't know it when I started, but it just grew. And it was something that was telling me, like the voice in my head, it was God speaking to me saying, you got this, the time is not right. Even when I thought I had the time, and I would reach out and I would get defeated, and I'd say, no, I can't get a publisher. I can't get this done. I can't seem to figure out how this chapter is going to go. And then God would open up a way. And so I got to this point, and I'm thinking, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be in life at this point in time. So, that's why I'm here today.
Well, okay, you probably don't remember this. I think it was like a year ago that I saw you at the Essence Black Women in Hollywood luncheon, or it was some Hollywood event. And I ran up to you and I said, Cafe Mocha has a film festival and there's a documentary about you. And you looked at me, you said, yeah, that's not an authorized something. And I was like, oops. I was like, oh my God. But and so that triggered, what you said about people taking your story and, putting it out there. I'm so happy that you are now, because you said, no, I'm going to push out my story, but everybody else has pushed out their narrative. So how does it feel to reclaim your actual story?
It feels amazing. It really does. It's scary. Scary as hell. But, because I'm trying to figure out what do I say. And, in all honesty, I had written, when I first landed my publisher and I had my first meeting with them, they said, well, you're going to have to write 375 pages. You know that, sort of kind of condescendingly, And I said, well, that's okay, because I've already got 895. I'm still writing.
Y'all got some editing to do.
So that's exactly what I said. We have to get back down to how do we narrow this down now? And how do we tell the parts that are relevant in a smaller way?
It's Cafe Mocha on the line with the incomparable Jayne Kennedy. Her new book is called Plain Jayne. And of course, the first thing I thought when I heard Plain Jayne, I'm like, there is nothing plain about you. Men love and have loved you since the day you hit sports and acting. So I have to ask about the title, Plain Jayne.
Yes. Well, that's the way I see myself. I'm just a down-home country girl, and my mom grew up in Virginia on the tobacco field, and my father in South Carolina in cotton fields. And, they met in Washington, D.C. I have five girls in my family and my brother, who is the youngest. And I never saw myself as being, in an elite status. I always said that, hey, I'm the one that's running around with shorts and, sunglasses, telling everybody I was going to grow up and be a Hollywood movie star.
You didn't lie.
I had at 4 years old, my aunt told me I used to run around with cat eye sunglasses with rhinestones on the end and tell everybody that I was going to be a movie star. I had no idea what I was talking about, because back then we were still watching black and white TV in a little corner, right? And my grandmother would say, you let Fancy Prancy do whatever she wants to be. She can be a Hollywood star if she wants to be. I didn't know what I was talking about, but I also didn't know when my aunt told me that. I said, I also didn't know that grandma called me Fancy Prancy. So, I was so used to being a tomboy. It's my life is full of memories of my family and how precious they are to me, how down to earth they are. And when I came to Hollywood, I said, if I ever have to be anything other than Jayne from Wickliffe, Ohio, I'm turning around, I'm going back home, because that was not my intention. So I was never headed to be a glamour girl. I never, yes, you want to be dressed wonderfully. You want to appear in grand movies. I wanted all of that, but that was part of my career. It was not who I was in my soul. So Plain Jayne is just me. When you see me, that's what you get.
Jayne Kennedy's life began to unravel after a big 80s scandal. She talks about bouncing back in her book, Plain Jayne. We've got more on Cafe Mocha.
We're at Cafe Mocha Radio. Socially savvy on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Serving up more Cafe Mocha on the way. UNITY, that's a unity. It's Cafe Mocha.
Cafe Mocha with Lonnie Love, Yo-Yo. I'm the producer, Angelique. We're talking to the legendary Jayne Kennedy. Let's get back to it.
Because I've written books, and this is a memoir of your life. What was the most difficult part to really write about, and how did you react while you were writing it?
Well, there were several. One was the passing of my father. When I interviewed my parents for this book, and I was blessed to have that opportunity many years ago, which was one of the reasons I probably started writing this so long ago. God was watching over me. He said, get these interviews now, because you may not know when you won't be able to have them. Mm-hmm. So, I've got, my mom actually bought me my first tape recorder, the little cassette, so that I could interview them. And I didn't even think she would think about that, But I sat there and I was talking to them, and my father telling me the story about how my grandmother died, and I'm named after my grandma. She was Jayne Harrison. And when he told me that, and I asked him, I said, Dad, why didn't you ever tell me about this before? You know, because she died in his arms, and she had been shot in the back of the head 3 times.
Oh, my God.
And I said, why haven't you ever told me this before? And he said, Jayne, it was just too hard.
Oh.
He said, I had to be a man at 10 years old when my mother died. I had to raise my 6 younger sisters. I didn't have time to think about how a man would be. I didn't even know what a man was. He said, and I can smell the blood still every day.
Mm.
And I think about that all the time, how my dad had to not only raise his siblings, but then to raise 5 daughters, and how he was strict with us. And I never understood why, but it was because he knew the dangers that were out there for women. So to me, to explore that with my family and know that that was part of my background that I had never known before, and to be there in tears along with my dad,
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the hardest part for me to write. And when I did the Audible version, it was definitely the hardest part for me to read.
Mm.
So, yeah.
But, you know, people will learn from this. I mean, I know we always write books and share our experiences to help people, but what is your reasoning for, releasing this book now?
Well, one that I mentioned before is to be able to put it in my own words instead of other people telling my story. The other reason is for my daughters, and to let them know who their mother really is, because, after certain events in my life, when I went into hiding,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to see anyone, and I didn't want to be acknowledged, and I gained a lot of weight, and I didn't know how to heal myself
Mm-hmm.
after that. And I wanted my daughters to know that their mom is strong. So I decided I had to be strong, and I had to be able to show them what women could be, what possibilities are there for them that were not there for me.
Yes.
I was very proud of that. My daughters were growing up in 2010, and then we have a government today that is not acknowledging the worth of the value and the worth of women.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to maintain that strength, because I will not fail in telling every woman that she matters. I will not fail in letting people know that we are less than, that we as African Americans are less than, as women we are less than. I will not allow that. And so it was important for me to tell that part of my journey as well. When I talk about in the final chapters about Sin Q and how he said he felt the strength of his ancestors when he was going to the Supreme Court to argue his case. And he said he had to know that he had to be there and be strong because he was standing on the shoulders of his ancestors all the way back to Africa. And so I have to be that person for my children. I have elected it for myself, not anyone else. Not because someone said it's a good idea or not because it's a good PR gimmick, but this is me speaking from my heart. And that's one of the reasons I started this. It's the reasons I finished the book when I did, because now I have a lot of other things that I got to do.
Yeah.
Now that the book is finally done. But for all women, all these young girls, all the girls that I coached in soccer when they started at 8 years old, 9 years old, and I pulled them into my own soccer club team, and then I took them to another club team. I said, you girls, you're too good to play at this level. You need to be playing on an upper league level. And I told their mothers and fathers, if you don't have the ability to pay for your daughters to play club soccer, I will find a way. Mm-hmm. And I made that commitment, and I kept my promise to them. And then 8 years later, I see these young girls that they're going off to college, getting full ride scholarships in soccer, in basketball. And these are girls that I saw, and I picked up and I pulled them along the way. And when I did the event, I just did an event last week at the California African American Museum, and I saw some of them here in Los Angeles. I saw some of my girls in the audience. And they're all, expanding in their careers. And I'm just so proud of them. And this is me. This is who I am. It's not the Hollywood Jayne. And so I had to let people know who I was. And that's why I wrote the book in the full scope, not just who they knew in Hollywood.
She's resilient. She's beautiful. And she's been with us today. Her memoir is called Plain Jayne. We've been talking to the one and only Miss Jayne Kennedy. Thank you for your time, Miss Kennedy.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate it. And you can visit me at JayneKennedy.com, and you can find out more information about what I'm doing. And you can also see the new fragrance line that I've launched, which is called Jayne Kennedy Sun and Jayne Kennedy Moon. And it's all 100% organic. And I created it with the concept of working with the designer to find out who I was and make that a part of the fragrance. So it has tobacco leaves because my mom grew up on a tobacco farm. It has Egyptian opals because my birthstone is opal. And it has gold flecks. It has frankincense and myrrh from Africa because
I love that.
My first trip when I went to Africa and when my feet touched the ground, it felt like roots just sprang out for the first time in my life. I felt like I belonged. And so all of those things are incorporated within the fragrance. And the fragrance is for men and women. So I hope you enjoy it.
Where do we get it?
Go to JayneKennedy.com.
JayneKennedy.com. That'd be a wonderful holiday gift. See, I knew it was more than just the workbook she had. So now we've got fragrance too. The book, the audio book, the fragrance, get it all at JayneKennedy.com. Bless you, Miss Kennedy.
And I'm talking about a movie too. So this is my comeback.
Let's go.
I'll be one of your sisters, okay? In the book.
Oh, okay.
Take care, Miss Kennedy. Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Yeah, that was a great conversation. And in addition to her book, Plain Jayne, Miss Kennedy has a perfume line called Sun and Moon. You get a discount if you buy them both together.
Here's your dose of espresso. Strong, hot news now.
This is the espresso. Social media is going crazy over that ice skater who did the backflip on ice. People are saying a black woman did it first. Not quite. At the 1976 Olympics, a male skater did it. After that, it became illegal.
About 20 years later, at the 1998 Nagano Olympics, Surya Bonali, a black woman who faced a lot of racism during her career as a figure skater, in protest, did a backflip during her routine.
For Black History Month, Sesame Street is talking about black hairstyles and the difference in hair types.
Slipped in my bonnet to reduce hair friction. Now it's time for my morning mission. Put on a shower cap, won't get my hair wet. Excited thinking about my Brexit.
And if you're at the historically black University, Florida A&M, you can't call Black History Month black.
We couldn't use the word black in Black History Month. We needed to abbreviate it. I mean, not being able to use the word black women, it's very frustrating because we're just trying to promote, the core mission statement that our school has is to promote diversity and inclusion.
After this story got out, officials backpedal real quick. That's the espresso.
UNITY, UNITY, that's a unity.
It's Cafe Mocha.
It's Cafe Mocha with Lonnie Love. Yo, I'm Angelique on the line. He had a #1 hit on the R&B charts for week after week after week. Back to your place. October London's on the line. Welcome to Cafe Mocha.
Hey, it's good to be here.
October, congratulations. This album that you've done, I mean, you did 2 albums last year. One was a Christmas album, but this Marvin Gaye remix was just, the rebirth of Marvin. When I say an awesome album, it was just awesome. So congratulations on that album. What made you want to do an album dedicated to Marvin Gaye? Well,
I grew up listening to Marvin Gaye when I was younger. I'm 37 now, but I grew up listening to it in the back of my mom and dad's car. And it's like, all of us around this age, just being at family gatherings, Thanksgivings, Christmases, all that kind of stuff. I grew up listening to Marvin. I grew up listening to Frankie Beverly and Maze and, the Eyes Isley Brothers, one of my favorite groups of all time. And, that's where I got that from. So, I just wanted to pay homage to Marvin, and to just old school vibes, old school music, because without them, a lot of these artists wouldn't be making the songs that they're making now. And I don't think they pay enough homage to the old school artists like that. Some do, some don't though.
Talk about capturing that vibe and essence of Marvin Gaye, because I was riding in a car with my aunt and my mama. They like 70, 80 something years old. And they're like, oh, goodness. Now, come on. That sounds like some Marvin Gaye. How did you capture that? Because I don't feel like it's an easy thing to do. There are tributes, and then there's that feeling of, oh, wow. And that's what we got listening to your music. Like, oh, wow, this guy's killing it.
Yeah. I caught the vibe from, at Snoop's studio, which he calls the compound. He plays music throughout the compound just consistently. He has his own little radio station and inside of the compound, and he plays music just throughout the day. And Marvin Gaye must have came on maybe 2 or 3 times. And I was in the studio just trying to gather a vibe where I was going with it. And all of a sudden, that those few lyrics came out of my mouth, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, this might be it. And I didn't notice at first, like, oh, well, I'm taking some of this Marvin vibe. I was just going, and I just kept going. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I didn't want to stop, but I never want to just take from Marvin, and I'm not trying to be him. I'm not trying to fill his shoes. That's the biggest thing. I don't want people to think that. I was just catching a vibe from him, so that's where that came from.
No, you just sound phenomenal.
Such a compliment.
Want a little more of our flavor? Stay right there. It's Cafe Mocha.
It's Cafe Mocha. On the line, singer-songwriter October London. His new album, The Rebirth of Marvin, it was released in 2023. He is now signed with Death Row Records. Because I want to talk about this alter ego, Sam Nash. Where did he come from? What is he about?
Who's this guy?
Sam Nash. So Sam, my middle name is Samuel, so that's where Sam came from. And then Nash came from Nashville. And I've traveled to Nashville a few times, and the food is just freaking amazing. So I was like, man, I'm gonna call myself Sam Nash. So that's where the name came from. But doing country, I've been wanting to do country since I've been wanting to do country since 2009, because I moved to Texarkana, Texas, and I have some friends that are in the we're talking oil money, those type of guys. Man, I hang out with them every single day and just see what they're doing. And I was like, man, I need to do country music for these guys. And I did it, and they loved it. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to keep doing this under that alias. I just never put it out like that. And now I'm about to drop a huge, huge single called Proud to be American via Sam Nash.
I can't wait for it. It's Cafe Mocha. On the line, October London, singer-songwriter. This is the thing, too. You have a whiskey brand and a cigar deal. Can we talk about that? I like whiskey.
I always drink a certain whiskey when I'm out and about, but I'm actually in the process of actually coming out with my own bourbon. So it's coming. Before this call, I was actually in a meeting with my business partner. So we're getting it done that way, because I do a show and I come out with the cigar and I come out with the whiskey or the bourbon, and I always tell everybody, hey, go tip your waitresses, drink with me, and like. The last, 3 or 4 shows in a row, I was like, they were asking me, what am I drinking? Somebody in the audience asked. And then I was like, oh, I'm drinking Woodford. And they ran completely out of Woodford. Like, they drank that stuff up. And they did that for 3 shows after that. And I was like, it might be time to do that. It might be time to drop something. And then, I'm not going to give the name or anything yet. We're in the process of getting it all together. And then as far as the cigar brand I'm doing, it's not my brand. I'm actually signing with a company, signing with Placencia Cigars. So, actually, you guys just got that first. I haven't even said anything about it. So,
thank you.
I know this is a little off, but did I read somewhere that you don't believe in marriage?
I don't believe. Yeah, you did. You heard it. Yeah, that was.
I'm with
Let's talk about that.
I'm with you. With you.
Yeah, I've been married before, and it was a great marriage. I love my ex-wife to death. She's a best friend to me. And we just have a great bond and a great relationship. And, when we divorced, she was like, a couple people were like, oh, man, you about to get hit for half, Eddie Murphy, half Eddie, all that kind of thing. And she's just not that kind of girl. She's a great person. And she was just like, I would never do that to you. And she didn't. I don't have any child support. I don't pay child support. She was like, you're an outstanding father and a great provider. You just suck at Netflix and chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like when she got pregnant, I kind of left the marriage, not to go be with anybody else, but I left the marriage because I was like, just emotionally, she needed that emotional support. And I was like, no, I gotta go out. I gotta work. I gotta get this money because, I want to be the best father I can be. I want my son to have everything. I gotta go hard. I want him to go to the best schools. I want him to have the best stuff. I want him to, and she was just like, hey, I'm here too. And I started traveling and, I just left, but, like I said, we still have a great relationship. And, I just don't think that, I don't think I'll ever get married again because I don't feel like it's necessary like that. I feel like, two people can be together without getting married and have a great relationship. It's like if I'm laying up with you today and going to the store with you today and going to see your mom and going to Thanksgiving today and all that, and then tomorrow put a ring on it, is it going to be any different? No, I'm still going to go and do the same things I was doing. So it's more like it's more of a showpiece. I'll put a ring on it, but I just don't want to do all that walking down the aisle stuff and just so much stress and drama and do this for this person and feeding people, at a wedding that you barely even know like that. They got invited, but it's just like, even thinking about it starting to stress me out.
I know. I feel you, October. I tell these heifers all the time, I do not want to be married. And they just be like, no, you got to be in love. But I get it. October, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let's do this again.
And congratulations.
Definitely.
Yes.
That's the show. Thanks to the legendary journalist and actress Jayne Kennedy for sharing her deeply personal story. If you want the full conversation, you got to go to the podcast at Mocha Podcast Network. Until next time, you can find us on all platforms at Cafe Mocha Radio. Cafe Mocha is a production of Miles Ahead Broadcasting in partnership with Super Radio. Executive producer Sheila Eldridge. For comments, booking, or more information, visit cafemocharadio.com.